Alrighty, artists, what we are going to work on this week is creating our name. We're actually going to take pictures that we see in nature that represent each of the letters of our names. You can't directly take a picture of the letter A on a textbook, you know. You don't want to take a picture of the actual text. You want to take a picture of those letters showing up naturally. So for example, this student found like a door handle that looked like a C, playground equipment that looked like an A with a shadow. So it's really forcing you to almost look at your natural surroundings in a different way. So what I would like to go through with you is how can we create a template for this assignment. We need to work with, like I said, just a new document in Photoshop and making sure that we have these rectangles where we can insert our pictures that are all the same size. So we are going to go to our Photoshop app and we need a pretty long document that's wider so that we can edit all of our pictures and add them in there. So when we go to File New, we need to create the width pretty long. I think 15 would be good. And then we can do the height at 7 or 8, I would say would be okay. We want to make sure we're in inches, not pixels, or it will be way too small. Let's make sure we're on inches. Resolution can remain at 200 pixels per inch. RGB color is fine for the color mode, and we can leave the background contents as white for this. So once you have all of that put in, you can change the title if you would like to your maybe name photo project with your name at the end. Click create. So you'll see you have a really nice long document to work with that's wider. What I do want to do is actually add some guides so that I can see where the middle of my document is. So I am going to go to my view button up at the top and go to new guide layout just like we would for a magazine layout. And there's all of these different ones that you can use, but what I like to do to find the center is actually click columns and rows. And I want to do 2 columns, so we can change the number to 2 for both columns and rows. We should have 2 and 2 in there. Nice thing about this, click OK, you have the center point determined. So when you are working with your document, we need to basically create smart objects that we can drop pictures into. So we're going to work with a rectangle shape tool. So if we go over to our toolbar here, we are going to find the rectangle tool. We are going to right click it, make sure we're on the rectangle. And I might, because my name has 6 letters, I'll have 3 on one side, 3 on the other. Let's say your name has an odd number of letters, you're going to have one that's right in the middle. So maybe what I'll do is start by creating a rectangle, and I'm just kind of estimating how big I want that to be. I need to be able to fit 3 of these on each side, so that seems like a good size. I can always make it a little bit smaller if I'm worried about it. I'm going to go to my move tool and make sure this is perfectly centered. Now see that little pink line that pops up? It's perfectly centered when that pink line shows. No pink line, I'm not centered. Pink line. Whoop, centered. There we go. Now we want to copy and paste this rectangle multiple times. So I am going to go to Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste. And then that will copy and paste that rectangle, and I need to make sure I have 3 on each side. So edit, copy, edit, paste. And when that pink alignment shows up with all of the measurements in the middle, that means that they are equally spaced apart. So we're doing a really nice job with that. Edit, copy, edit, paste again. So now I have 3 on one side. Those are equally aligned. Now I need 2 more. Edit, copy, edit, paste for my other side. And make sure that those are equally spaced out. And I really do like the spacing around the edges too. That looks pretty nice right now. So if you have a really long name, your boxes are going to have to be smaller. So you're going to have to play around with that. But the biggest thing is copy and pasting to make sure all of these boxes are exactly the same in size. Now at this point, we need to go over to our layer panel right here. We need to right-click every layer and click Convert to Smart Object for every single one. So I'm going to go through every layer, right-click, Convert to Smart Object. 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 Right-click to Smart Object. Convert to Smart Object. Okay, so now all of these are smart objects. Now what I can do to make this easy for myself is I can go in and put in what letter is first, starting from the bottom going, or actually I have to double click here to figure out which rectangle I'm on. I am going to name each one where each letter should go. So we're going to do M here, double click, and we can just title each of these. I hope these are in order because I can't see with that little smart object icon. I don't think that's right. I think this might be, oh, my R is way down here. So I'm going to drag that up and actually put these in order. Might be helpful. So once they're in order, then I can double click and put in the correct letter. You can always change the order of your layers. So let's, oops, go back. All right. At this point, once I have my name in there, I can start to enter my pictures in. So hopefully you have all of your pictures of your letters in a file already, so they're easy to access and input. And I just looked at this and see how that's a little off. I have to fix that. And I just figured out that these two are not in order, so I fixed that. I have to go to that layer and move that up because it's just slightly off. All right, so now that these are all smart objects, I should be able to double click the layer. Oops. And the picture next to the layer is what you'll be double clicking. So now I'm on my first rectangle, and this is similar to putting pictures in a magazine layout. I have my smart object here. Now I need to click File and place my photo in there. So I'm going to start off with the first letter of my name and double click it. And I'm going to move it and make that bigger so it fills up my rectangle just like that. Once it fills my rectangle, I can click Enter, or I can click the checkbox up here. And then I can go up here to my documents and exit out of this one, save the changes, yes, and then it will be inserted into my document. Now I can move on to the next layer and click the little picture next to it, double click, and I can do the same exact thing, click File, place Embedded, and find the next letter of my name, which is the A. Double click that or click Place. Make it bigger. It's kind of a funky A, isn't it? But it works. Make that look really nice. There, I think it's good. Then I can hit Enter or the checkbox. Exit out. Click Yes. I want to save it, and that should enter right into my document. Next one is my R. Double click, File, Place, Embedded. My next letter is my R. This one was hard to find, I am not going to lie. I could probably do a better job finding an R. I actually really don't like that picture, so I may go back and find a new one. But anyways, it's my R, so click the check. And exit out of it, and click yes. Then my I, double click the picture on my layer, file, place embedded. I need my I next, which is my hockey stick. Oh, was I a simple one compared to the rest. I was thankful for that. Click enter, exit, and click yes. Then I need my A again. Double click the picture of the layer, file, place embedded, another A. I cheated technically because I have the letter A twice in my name, so that was a little bit easier one. Click enter or check mark. Exit out of that second document, click yes. Now my last one is the letter H down here. Double click, file, place embedded, and find my H, which was my window. And see if this will actually work without cutting off too much of my H. I think that'll be okay. Just that. Click enter. Exit. Yes. Alright, now we get to have some fun actually editing each individual photo here. So what I can do is go to my individual layer, and what I am going to do is find my object selection tool and go over my object. Oops, I did undo. Let's not do that. At this point, we don't even need that tool. We can probably edit this entire document at once because we want to change all of these to black and white. So what we can do is go over to our layer tool. We can go to our half black, half white circle down at the bottom, and we can go to black and white and see how that looks. And we can play around with these things to emphasize our letters. Until it's really easy to read each of my letters. So I can play around with how dark some of these colors are. And that is my adjustment layer. So at that point, it's editing the entire document all at once. Now, could you go and maybe do each picture individually? You absolutely could, but this is an easy way to transform all of them to black and white by doing that adjustment layer. And once we are done with that, we can save our document at this point. I just want to make sure there's nothing I really want to change. We should be good to go. I'm going to just experiment here and unlock my background. I want to see how this looks like with a black background instead. So I am going to make sure I'm on my background layer. I can actually double click this and click background. And I can experiment and do my paint bucket tool and get a swatch up and see how it looks with black in the background. Kind of cool. Alright, so that's our paint bucket tool again if you want to change the background color. When you're done, File, Save As, save on your computer. Again, save as a JPEG if you're done. Photoshop document if it's still in the works and you still need to work on it. Mine is done, so I will name it Name Photo Project with my name. And save.